Assalamualaikum everyone. So now we meet again. For this second lesson, we'll be looking at how to construct your body content of your speech. So again, this is applicable for informative as well as persuasive speeches. Now, what you need to have is basically all these three. You need to have your main points, and your main points need to be elaborated. You need to have your supporting materials and connectives. We'll look at one by one. Now, the body of a speech, a well-developed body of a speech is essential. It's very important. Number one, it tells the audience how well organized the speaker is. If a person listens to your speech and they feel that your speech is well organized, they will have confidence in you. Number two, it tells the audience how well developed the content of the speech is. Because it's a good speech, then they will have faith in you. They will listen to you. It convinces the audience on the idea brought by the speaker. Now, let us look at the main points here. Remember that you developed your specific purpose and your central ideas. So let's just use this as an example. Now, your specific purpose is by the end of your speech, you would like to inform your audience about some major uses of hypnosis, for example. And you are focusing on three major uses of hypnosis. They are to control pain in surgery, to help people stop smoking, to help students improve their academic performance. So that is your central idea, remember? So you have done this. You have done this before. In the beginning of developing your speech, you have gone through this. Now, you need to use your central idea in order for you to develop your main points because they have to be the same. So what are your main points in your body content? Number one, hypnosis is used in surgery as an adjunct to chemical anesthesia. Number two, to stop smoking. And number three, to help or improve academic performance. All these three you have mentioned in your central idea. Remember? Yes. So you are actually using the same points because those are the 3 points that you're going to talk about after all. Okay. So these are the 3 points that you'll be talking in your, but of course the sequence has to be according to what you have stated in your central idea. If you have started with for surgery, then of course your first point is about surgery, and then the second one is to stop smoking. The second point is about stopping smoking, something like that. Yeah, it has to go, the sequence has to be parallel. And once you have these main points, how can you elaborate your main points? Well, that depends. Yeah, these are some of the strategic order of main points that you can adopt and adapt as well as employ in constructing your body contents. You just need to go through. So we have about five. So chronological, we have spatial order, causal order, problem solution, topical order. No, the one that we discussed just now, the example is basically topical order, and I'm pretty sure throughout the process of developing your body content, a lot of you will be using topical order. But you can just go through one by one, just have a look which of your body or your main points suit which order. And not necessarily you have to use this. This is just a suggestion. So chronological order comes from the word chronology. It has to do with time. Okay, with time. So this is how, let's say you want to talk about the Great Wall of China, and you want to talk about the three stages or major stages, how they built the Great Wall of China. So the first stage, the second stage, and the third stage will be your main points. Spatial order, it's more on, we're talking about places, areas, spatial order. For example, you want to talk about the three major regions in Italy, and then you want to talk about the northern, central, and southern. Okay, so you go from north and then central or south, or the other way around, yeah, from south, central, or northern. Sometimes spatial can also be spaced. For example, you want to talk about your house, for example. Yeah, you want to talk about your house, so you start something with from the inside of your house, and then you bring it to the outside of your house, or inside, and then above, and then below, because some houses they have bunks underneath the house and whatnot. Yeah. Causal order, the causes. Okay, we talk about causes. First cause, second cause, the third cause. Problem solution. Now this is a bit different. Sometimes that depends how you organize. Sometimes you have three main points. So maybe the first two main points you talk about what are the problems, and the last main point you talk about how to solve the problems. Or better still, for every problem, let's say you have three problems, for each problem in each main point, you have solution. Sometimes people just mention all three problems in the main point, body content, and they suggest few solution only in the conclusion part, just a small one. So either ways, it is acceptable. And of course, this will be the most anticipated, the kind of order that students will use most of the time, topical order. Topical order, like just now, lah, what are the three benefits? What are the three stages? What are the what are three reasons? So you'll be using topical order. First reason, second reason, third reason, topical order. Now, once you have elaborated, you have your main points, you have elaborated your main points. Elaboration means like a discussion. Yeah? You prolong, you lengthened the topic. Next is to support your elaboration with supporting materials, like by giving examples, or by giving statistics, or by giving testimonies, or by referring to books, by referring to research papers. Now, why? Before we move on further, you need to understand why supporting materials are very important for your body content, because it will sound convincing to the people. Now, just imagine if there is a person A who talks about something, an issue, and in the content, it's all about his or her opinions. And then you have person B, and that person, he or she uses her own opinions, and then support also with research that come from the books, also testimonies, or even a bit statistic here and there. Which one that you will fall into? I'm pretty sure you'll choose the second person, because it's not only about what he thinks about it, what the rest of the experts perhaps, or people who have best interest in that issue discuss about the issue. All right, so that's why supporting materials is very important. Now, just to remind you that for your informative speech, it is compulsory to support your point. So you have 3 points. So one of the point you must support with, either a graph, you must support either with a table, or you must support with a chart. You can choose a graph, a table, or a chart. That is your supporting material. So you have 3 points, only choose one. Only choose one. And of course, your graph, your table, your chart is not you develop on your own, yeah? It's something that you find from a research or from a book, from an expert to support that point. And it has to be in that form. So if I don't see any graph or any table or any chart in any of your three main points in your informative speech, only informative speech, persuasive speech, no, informative speech. If I don't see that, then you won't get marks for that, for your content. All right, so this is an example that you can have a look. Now, in between of the sentences in your body content, you need to use connectives. Now, connectives can be in many forms, like transitions, yeah? Right, now that we have a clear understanding of the problem, let me share you the solution. So the one colored in red, they are basically transitions. Or you can use internal previews, like in discussing how Asian Americans have been stereotyped in the mass media, we'll look first at what, and a second what. And also maybe you can use internal summary, like in short, in summary, to sum up. Signpost like first, second, third, if let's say it's a process. Okay, so I think I've talked about this just now. Three body contents for each, informative and persuasive, but supporting material for informative, that it should be graph, it should be chart, it should be table. Compulsory, you choose lah. And not you develop your own, yeah. It has to be taken from the materials, supporting materials, not your own supporting materials. I give an example. Let's say the first topic, the first main point, I would like to talk about the first benefits of jogging. That is to keep you in shape. And when I search for information, I found this one graph that actually shows how people have changed tremendously when they jog in terms of the shape of their body. Apparently, there's a graph. So I'll just use that graph. But of course, it has to be relevant to the topic. Don't just simply find any graph just because I say it compulsory, but when I look at the graph, it is not relevant at all to your topic. Okay?